This is Umar for BoxNation. We're in Wembley, joined by Beefy. He's back in a ring, which is great for British boxing fans. But this fight card will cross worldwide because it's a Riyadh season event, and they really are taking over boxing. And I'm sure you're glad to be part of it, Liam.
Yeah, I am. Obviously, I'm glad to be part of a show of this magnitude in the UK at Wembley. It's mad. I said my brother Callum was on Anthony Joshua undercards at Tottenham, and I've seen him fight at Wembley before. So I always said I'd love to be on one of these football stadium shows, and I get to do that on the Riyadh season, on the UK card. So it's one that is another one ticked off the list for me, and it's one that I'm going to be excited and privileged to be a part of.
No one called for this fight, actually. It wasn't a fight that British boxing fans were discussing, but when you put it together, it's a brilliant fight. You and Josh Kelly, how do you assess it?
Yeah, obviously it's common sense really. No one really called for it, but I think quietly and behind closed doors, I think Adam and Josh have probably looked at the Eubank fight and probably thought it's the right time to get me. They need a big name. Let's not beat around the bush. He's tread and water fighting nobodies on his Wasserman deal, building a name for himself. He's a good fighter. He's a talented fighter. He's a flashy fighter. So, they're trying to build a name, and they probably think this is the right time for them to take a big name like myself on a big stage and get people talking and get himself noticed. But like I said, I've had fighters do that before and come unstuck, and Josh Kelly will come unstuck doing the same thing.
So Adam and Josh have made a big mistake?
1,000,000%, yeah. I firmly believe that. I think they'll have looked at the Eubank fight and thought it's the right time to get me. It's the same. Look, I'm not comparing Josh to Anthony Fowler, but I think Anthony and Eddie thought the same thing after Russia. Like I said, look into that fight all you want. If that fight was a reflection of myself, I'd have retired in the ring with the Eubank rematch. Obviously, I had major issues and problems and injuries before that fight, so that fight's gone now, and I'll show you that they've made a mistake in thinking they've got me at the right time.
With that Eubank rematch, the injury obviously caused you to have weight issues and making weight, etc. So for this Kelly fight, are you confident weight-wise it won't be an issue?
Yeah, I'm confident. Look, like I said, when I say weight-wise, 160 is not an issue for me. I'm not longer 160. I was at 154. Put me back in that scenario, I probably could have made 154 again. It was the whole rigmarole of I pulled out of the Chris Eubank Junior rematch with a back injury, and then again, there's been no secret, I got forced, which the buck stops with me. I should have called the people around me their bluff, and the promoters bluff that the fight would have happened regardless. I was probably, hindsight, never going to be ready for September 2nd. I had 7 weeks to lose the weight I lost, and again, like I said, I can be criticised all you want, but I was forced into a date that now I was probably never ready for, and that's it. I thought, once I make weight, I'll beat Chris. I can hurt him, I'll beat him, and like I said, hindsight's great. I didn't, and I come unstuck, but I paid the price and I learned the lesson.
When you look at yourself, I mean, your fundamentals, I believe, are one of the best in not just British boxing, but world boxing. Everything's kind of on point, in tune. How do you assess Josh Kelly? Obviously, a very flashy fighter. How do you assess his style, and what do you make of him?
I think he's a very, very talented fighter. Again, like I said, look, we're friends. I like Josh, and I like Josh's dad. But this fight's, I shook Josh's hand yesterday. I like him. I've got no bad blood against him. But this is not going to be friendly. Josh is trying to end my career. Josh is trying to finish my career. So I have to be tooth and nail with this. He's a very talented fighter. There's no questions asked. It's not hard to see. But he is where he is for a reason. His abilities only took him so far for a reason. He lacks something. He lacks.
What is that?
Look, again, I don't really want to. I know what he lacks, and I think I'll bring that out in him. And he
is it heart and desire?
Well, you said that without me saying it.
I think back to the Avanesian fight.
Yeah,
I thought you might be referring to that.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's other things I know. Amateurs, he pulled out of a fight against the Russian because he didn't want to fight the Russian in the amateurs. I think when it gets very tough, there's only one winner with me and Josh, and I'll just put it there. His abilities only took him so far. He's had he's had the ability to be world champion and go very far in this game. Ability only takes you so far, and that's why he's only where he's at now. He's been pro a long time, Josh, and he probably should be further on in his career where he is. But he is where he is for a reason. Ability can only take you so far in this game. It's a brutal business, and I plan to make it a brutal fight with him.
Liam, your former opponent Chris Eubank Jr. was linked heavily with Hamza Shiraz for this bill. Were there ever talks about yourself and Hamza fighting?
Yes, there was. I think there probably still will be. After September 21st, obviously we have to both win September 21st. I think that's a fight that will probably, like I say, I probably guessed it might happen next unless Hamza gets the shot at Carlos Adames.
Okay. But so all being well on September 21st, you'd like that fight with Hamza, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Look, stylistically wise, I prefer that fight more than any. I think me and Hamza makes for a fan-friendly, great fight. To be honest with you, Hamza's a good fighter, but he's a tall fighter who likes to fight a little bit like my brother Colin. You know what I mean? It's a fight stylistically. I think I match up well against, and it's a fight I'd like. I think he's a top lad. He's a respectful lad, Hamza, but that's a fight I'd like.
Just quickly before we go, main event, thoughts, prediction?
Boss fight, both them. I think both them at this moment in time are in the peaks of where they've been at, if that makes sense. They're both confident, they're both coming off the back of great wins. But, stylistically wise, I was trying to explain this yesterday to somebody. I think they're not far off each other. When I say they're not an awkward southpaw like Usyk, who's fluent. They're not an awkward big lump like Fury, who's athletic. The two of them will be able to get their shots off, but I just think Joshua lands. I think he lands early. I seen an interview with Ben Davison yesterday, and I thought, I agree with you. I don't know if there's a Fury then, by the way. I think Joshua lands early and he wins early.
Okay. Well, Liam, best of luck in camp. We'll see you on Fight Week here. Going to be a massive occasion at Wembley Stadium, and you've been part of some massive bills and massive fight nights. But this is going to be extra special, so we look forward to it.
Nice one, mate.
Thank you.
Mate.